G'day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Metal video. In this video we are going to take a look at how to complete the physical type the int type Frieza Force stage with a physical type team. So this stage took me probably the most tries, and the reason is just simply because I think my movie Broly is a single dupe. I did try this strategy another way, which I'll explain just now, but realistically, probably the easiest way to do this is to get a friend lead that is a SSR version of Broly. You'll see them, they're capped at level 100, and you're going to use that and kind of build your team around that. If you have Broly, the movie Broly, that is the physical AoE one yourself, then you shouldn't have too much problems. You can obviously build your team around having both of those units. Ideally, you want to take the highest lead possible as well. So if you are building a team with Brolys or anything like that, or if you are trying to build a team around that, maybe take a Pure Saiyans Vegeta lead. So there was two ways that I got this done. There was this way, which seems like it's a bit more RNG dependent, but it's probably easier because it requires only 2 units and you can just shove a whole bunch of supports around them really. And then there was the other way. So I'll talk about this way first, obviously. So in this method here, essentially what you want to do is you want to have a friend SSR Broly. You want to have your Broly reversed to SSR state, so that they can only stay at level 100. That keeps their super attack as an AoE, which means obviously they will deal AoE damage the whole time, they won't transform. Then what you want to do is you want to pair up at least 2 other units on the other rotation that have the ability to do 5 super attacks. If that's Kale here and Vegeta, or if that's like 3 Rainbow units, whatever they are, they need to be able to do a decent amount of damage and do 5 super attacks. The reason is because, quite simply, you need the units to mop up whatever's left over after the 2 Broly super attack. Then what you want to do is you want to organize both Brolys into one rotation, and you want to organize the Vegeta and the Kale in the other rotation. So yeah, and then after that you basically just wait it out and let them mop up whenever the Brolys don't finish off the rotation. And you make sure that you get the Brolys in the final rotation. To do that, you have to make sure that these Brolys are the first turn of the 6 turn phases. As long as that happens, then you should be fine. The second way is to run double or rainbow transforming Vegeta leads, or at least multiple dupe transforming Vegeta leads, and to run a full Pure Saiyans team. Reverse your Broly and then just hope everyone else can mop up after the Broly that you have. The only problem with this is, well, if your Broly's at 55% like mine, it makes things a little bit difficult because Broly doesn't necessarily carry the stats to finish things off. And then of course, if your units don't get super attacks, it can be a frustrating time. Both methods are somewhat RNG based, as some of these challenges have been. So there's no real ideal way to go about it. Just follow the basic rules. As with all of these stages, try and build your team around units with additional super attacks. Try and get as many units as you can with additional super attacks. Try and place them under the highest lead, and just use your items appropriately. You can use, of course, as I've been using the whole time, the World Tournament Announcer and the orb changing items. And for this stage, that will be the Dbz cookie. So yeah, like I said, it's a little bit luck dependent, but once it gets going, everything should be fine. And it takes a couple tries, but realistically, once it's done, you are good to go. So it's not like the end of the world or anything. The stage is possible, but yeah, I would say this stage is the one I struggled with the most. As you can see here, like for example here, we have 4 units left. Now Broly, you see Broly can super 3 times, but if Broly only supers twice and Kale decides to only super once and do a normal attack, chances are I'm probably not going to make it. So you can see there's still a level of RNG and everything that is involved. It's very difficult to just say there's none involved, even for someone who's got quite a wide and diverse box. you still struggle, especially if you don't have dupes in the necessary units. It'll take you a couple tries, but use equipment. That's where equipment comes in handy. I stuck some crit equipment and on my 55% Broly, so that made everything a bit easier. I stuck some attack boosts on some of my other units. I stuck some additional equipments on them, and because it's equipment, it means I can take it off if I want to switch them back to crit builds. But it did just help a little bit with kind of getting everything going and making sure everything worked properly. So yeah, realistically not too bad. Just requires a little bit of planning. As you can see there, obviously I stuck the Turles in the middle to give both of them active links. You make sure that you get the most orbs with the Broly with the higher stats. It's just a whole process. So yeah, just do all the smart things that you can do whatever small decisions you can make to clear everything up and make it all work properly, and then you should be fine. If you do that, you'll eventually get the win. It just might take you a while. So yeah, let me know how you guys have found the stages down in the comments below. Do you like this kind of content? Do you wish Dokkan didn't do it? Does it feel too specific? And yeah, you know, let me know your thoughts on the stages. I think it's interesting that they've done this. It's a bit different to the usual nuking events that they put in during these events. It's more like AoE focused. And does that make it harder? Does it make it easier? I don't know. I think it makes it a little bit harder, or maybe a little bit more tedious. But that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll see you next time. Until then, bye!